What's going on YouTube? Listen up, young elder gang. This is billionaire Ted Strokes at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, fam. I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes. In this video, you will find history, definitions, scripture, information, and best of all, what we Americans have been deprived of from the beginning, the truth. Keep in mind this content used in this video is intended for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth, as we best understand it today. Be sure to hit that like button, young elder gang. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell, and don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. Hey there, ever wondered what Islam Civics really means? Let's break it down. Islam Civics stands for Peace, Construction, Investigation, Various Information, and Leveling. It's a comprehensive approach to the construction of the universe that focuses on safety and quality for all. Let's dive into each part. First up is peace. Islam Civics is based on the laws of the universe. Islam Civics is how governments are set up. It is how family structure and businesses are ran. Islam Civics is order. Islam Civics is not the religion Islam, although Islam, the religion, is based on Islam Civics. Islam Civics is the great laws. Islam Civics is peace, justice, and equality for all throughout the boundless universe. The basis of Islam Civics is construction. This is all about building structures, whether it's family, government, or a business. Building a foundation, a support system, which is the base. Think buildings, roads, bridges, building good people. As the Masons say, making good man better, squaring them off. Masonry is based on Islam Civics. Islam Civics is based on science. Islam Civics is a way to engage the public with science and to democratize research by including diverse groups of people. Islam Civics aims to create a culture where scientists are involved as citizens, and citizens are engaged with scientific research and its implications. It also seeks to address systemic racism and other forms of marginalization. Islam Civics involves evidence-based engagement with people from different backgrounds and experiences. It also aims to equip scientists to anticipate and engage with the civic context of their work. Islam Civics can help ensure that science addresses the most pressing problems facing society. It can also help to make research more inclusive and equitable. Islam Civics involves architects, intelligent and smart minds, teachers, engineers, and builders working through stages like design, site prep, foundation, framing, and finishing. Next is investigation. This means gathering and analyzing info to see if a project is feasible. It includes surveys, soil testing, and environmental assessments to ensure everything's safe before building starts. Then, various information. This is all the critical data for the building, planning, creating blueprints, and generating order. It ensures everything lines up with universal laws, codes, and regulations. Finally, leveling. This means making sure the structure is built on a level surface. Balance, squaring things off. It's crucial for stability, safety, and having a strong foundation in everything you do and put your mind to. So in a nutshell, Islam Civics is about ensuring order within peace, high-quality service, and compliance with universal laws. From the initial design to the final checks, it's a multi-step process involving many planned-out moves. Economics is a part of Islam Civics. Economics is concerned with the creation, consumption, and transfer of wealth. The study of economics encompasses the major areas of microeconomics, which explores how people and firms produce and consume goods and services, and macroeconomics, which explores mass economic progress and inter-country trade. Economics is a social science that studies how people and societies produce, distribute, and consume goods and services. It's concerned with how to use resources efficiently and fairly, and how to make predictions about the future. Economics covers a wide range of topics, including macroeconomics, the study of the economy as a whole, including topics like inflation, national income, and growth, supply and demand. A well-known economic concept that describes how a higher supply of a product can lead to a lower price economic policies. How governments use monetary policy, interest rates and the money supply, and fiscal policy, tax and spending policies. Economists use theoretical and statistical tools to analyze a variety of issues, such as how to develop human capital through education, how workers should be rewarded, how to conduct fiscal and monetary policy, and how healthcare markets work. Economists work in many different fields, including government, consulting, and research and development. Jurisprudence is a part of Islam Civics. Jurisprudence, also known as theory of law or philosophy of law, is the examination in a general perspective of what law is and what it ought to be. The word jurisprudence derives from the Latin term jurisprudentia, which means the study, knowledge, or science of law. In the United States, jurisprudence commonly means the philosophy of law. There are roughly three categories into which the topics of legal philosophy fall: analytic jurisprudence, normative jurisprudence, and critical theories of law. Jurisprudence is the study of law from a philosophical and logical perspective. It involves analyzing the nature of law, legal systems, and legal concepts, and how law operates in society. Jurisprudence can be divided into three branches: analytical, defines terms, articulates axioms, and prescribes methods for viewing the legal order as a logical system; sociological, examines the effects of law on society and how social phenomena influence law; theoretical, evaluates and criticizes law based on its goals or ideals. Jurisprudence can help scholars and practitioners understand law and its importance in society. It can also help sharpen legal thinking and provide insight into debates that are important to society. Sociology is a part of Islamic Civics. Sociology is the study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. Sociologists investigate the structure of groups, organizations, and societies, and how people interact within these contexts. Sociology is the study of human behavior, social life, and social change. Sociologists examine how people interact within groups, organizations, and societies, and how social influences impact individuals and groups. They use critical analysis and empirical investigation to understand social order, problems, and changes. Sociologists study a wide range of topics including crime and law, education and health, families and population gender, racial and ethnic relations, poverty, social class, the sociology of work, the sociology of sports. Sociologists use both qualitative and quantitative methods in their research, often using statistical analysis programs. Their research can help inform public policy and solve social problems for administrators, educators, lawmakers, and social workers. Graduates with a degree in sociology can find opportunities in many fields, including advocacy, criminal justice, education, environmental policy and research, human resources, law, nonprofit management, organizational management, social policy, and social science research. Civic mathematics is a part of Islamic Civics. Mathematics is a field of study that discovers and organizes methods, theories, and theorems that are developed and proved for the needs of empirical sciences and mathematics itself. There are many areas of mathematics which include number theory, algebra, geometry, analysis, and set theory. Civic mathematics is a way of teaching math that connects it to real-world issues and social topics. It can help students learn how to use math skills to understand the world and make informed decisions. Civic mathematics can include real-world issues, topics like race, gender, poverty, wealth, the environment, and teen issues. Mathematical modeling, applying math to real-world situations. Quantitative reasoning, using math to analyze data and propose solutions to problems. Critical thinking, discerning well-evidenced claims from misleading conclusions. Some examples of civic mathematics include Civimatics, a project that develops materials for modeling political, social, and ecological issues. Citizen Math, a program that engages students in using math to explore issues that affect their lives. Math and Civic Engagement, a course at Montclair State University that connects math to relevant social issues. Quantitative Reasoning for Civic Engagement, a course at San Francisco State University that helps students analyze data related to civic engagement. Psychology is a part of Islamic Civics. Psychology is the scientific study of mind and behavior. Its subject matter includes the behavior of humans and non-humans, both conscious and unconscious phenomena, and mental processes such as thoughts, feelings, and motives. Psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behavior, including how the brain works, how people process information, and how people relate to each other. Psychologists use scientific methods to observe, measure, and test human behavior in order to form conclusions. Psychology has many applications in healthcare, education, industry, and commerce. Psychologists can help people cope with life problems by using techniques based on research, clinical skills, and experience. They can also work with primary healthcare providers and psychiatrists to develop treatment plans. Psychologists undergo extensive education and training, typically spending an average of 7 years in education and training after receiving their undergraduate degree. They are licensed by the state in which they practice. Some topics that psychologists study include how the brain works, how behavior can become disordered, how memory is organized, how people process information and regulate behavior, how people relate to each other, how children develop and learn about the world. Politics is a part of Islam civics. Politics is the set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations among individuals, such as the distribution of status or resources. The branch of social science that studies politics and government is referred to as political science. Democratic types are direct democracy, representative democracy, republic government, parliamentary government, constitutional monarchy. Non-democratic types are authoritarian, totalitarian, oligarchy, technocracy, theocracy, dictatorship, absolute monarchy. Other types are communist, colonialist, aristocratic, anarchy, aristocracy, authoritarianism, bureaucracy, capitalism, confederation, colonialism, communism, corporatocracy, democracy, ecclesiocracy, electocracy, ergotocracy, fascism, federalism, feudalism, geniocracy, imperialism, kakistocracy, kleptocracy, logocracy, meritocracy, military dictatorship, monarchy, oligarchy, plutocracy, republicanism, socialism, statism, technocracy, theocracy, totalitarianism, and tribalism. Public administration is a part of Islam civics. At its core, public administration is the art and science of managing public programs and policies, ensuring their effective execution for the benefit of society. Students explore the intersection of politics, economics, and social welfare, gaining insights into decision-making that shapes our communities. Quite literally, the term philosophy means love of wisdom. In a broad sense, philosophy is an activity people undertake when they seek to understand fundamental truths about themselves, the world in which they live, and their relationships to the world and to each other. Public administration is the study and practice of managing public programs and policies to benefit society. It involves a wide range of activities, including policymaking, analyzing public policy programs and budgets to create constructive change, program management, implementing and managing public programs and services, resource management, managing public resources such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure, industry regulation, regulating industries. Public administration professionals work in a variety of settings, including local, state, and federal governments, as well as nonprofit organizations and private partners. Some examples of public administration activities include economic or community development, emergency management and disaster response, parks and recreation, public education, public housing, public safety and law enforcement, public transportation, public works, such as waterworks management. Students can pursue a Master of Public Administration, MPA, or an Executive MPA to advance their education in the field. These programs offer courses in topics such as financial management, human resource management, law, policy analysis, problem solving, public budgeting, and public speaking. History is a part of Islam civics. History is the systematic study and documentation of the human past. History is an academic discipline which uses a narrative to describe, examine, question, and analyze past events and investigate their patterns of cause and effect. History is the study of the past, particularly the examination and interpretation of past events through the analysis of various sources like written documents, artifacts, and oral accounts, to understand how people and societies have changed over time and how the past shapes the present. Essentially, it's the narrative of human experience across different periods and regions, constructed by historians using critical analysis of evidence. Key points about history. Focus on change. History is not just remembering facts, but understanding how things have changed over time. Source analysis. Historians rely on various sources like primary documents, secondary sources, and material culture to build their narratives. Interpretation. Different historians can interpret the same events differently based on their perspective and methodology. Relevance to the present. Studying history helps us understand current issues and make informed decisions about the future. Anthropology is a part of Islam civics. Anthropology is the study of what it means to be human in the broadest sense, through an examination of culture and society, the biology and evolution of humans and our closest relatives, and the study of past human communities and material culture. Anthropology takes a broad approach to understanding the many different aspects of the human experience. Some anthropologists consider what makes up our biological bodies and genetics, as well as our bones, diet, and health. Others look to the past to see how human groups lived hundreds or thousands of years ago and what was important to them. Around the world, they observe communities as they exist today, to understand the practices of different groups of people from an insider's perspective, and they study how people use language, make meaning, and organize social action in all social groups and contexts. In the community of anthropologists in the United States, these four fields, human biology, archaeology, cultural anthropology, and linguistics, are understood to be the pillars on which the whole discipline rests. Any individual anthropologist will probably specialize in one or two of these areas, but have general familiarity with them all. We understand these varied approaches to complement one another and give a well-rounded picture not only of what we all share as humans, but also of our rich diversity across time, space, and social settings. For example, everyone needs to eat, but people eat different foods and get food in different ways. So anthropologists look at how different groups of people get food, prepare it, and share it. They look at the meaning of different food traditions, such as what makes a dish appropriate for a special occasion. They focus on the intersection of culture and biology to understand what food is available in a community, why people make the choices they do, and how these choices relate to health and well-being. They compare these practices with others around the world, as well as what they can learn from the ancient archaeological record. And they use these insights to work toward a world where everyone has enough to eat and traditional foodways are celebrated and maintained. The diverse fields of technology innovation, urban planning, historic preservation, communication strategy, and forensic investigation to illustrate how, whatever people are doing, it's all anthropology. Social science is a part of Islam civics. What is social science? Social science is the study of how people interact with one another. The branches of social science include anthropology, economics, political science, psychology, and sociology. Social science is a branch of science that studies human behavior and interactions within societies, examining aspects like culture, social institutions, economics, politics, and psychology to understand how society functions and how people relate to each other within it. Key disciplines within social science include anthropology, sociology, economics, political science, and psychology. Key points about social science. Focus on human behavior. It primarily investigates how people act and interact within social groups. Diverse disciplines includes fields like anthropology, sociology, economics, political science, psychology, geography, and linguistics. Understanding society aims to explain how societies work, including their structures, norms, and power dynamics. Research methods utilizes various research methods like surveys, interviews, experiments, and observation to gather data. Humanities is a part of Islam civics. Humanities are academic disciplines that study aspects of human society and culture, including certain fundamental questions asked by humans. During the Renaissance, the term humanities referred to the study of classical literature and language as opposed to the study of religion or divinity. Humanities are a group of academic disciplines that study human culture and society, including the values, beliefs, and expressions that shape the human experience. Humanities subjects include literature, history, philosophy, art, religion, languages, performing arts, and visual arts. Humanities majors typically earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. The focus of a humanities major is on developing the ability to generate and analyze ideas, rather than developing industry knowledge or career skills. The humanities are distinct from the physical and biological sciences, and somewhat less so from the social sciences. The term humanities comes from the classical Greek paideia, a general education course that prepared young men for citizenship in the city-state. International relation is a part of Islam civics. International relations, IR, and also referred to as international studies, international politics, 2 or international affairs 3, is an academic discipline. 4. In a broader sense, the study of IR, in addition to multilateral relations, concerns all activities among states, such as war, diplomacy, trade, and foreign policy, as well as relations with and among other international actors, such as intergovernmental organizations, IGOs, international non-governmental organizations, INGOs, international legal bodies, and multinational corporations, MNCs. Geography is a part of Islam civics. Geography is the study of places and the relationships between people and their environments. Geographers explore both the physical properties of Earth's surface and the human societies spread across it. Geography is the study of the Earth's landscapes, environments, and the relationships between people in those places. Physical properties. Geographers study the Earth's surface, including climate, landforms, and soils. Human societies. Geographers study the human societies that live on Earth, including their economic, political, and cultural systems. Interactions. Geographers study how human culture interacts with the natural environment and how places impact people. Change over time. Geographers study how things develop and change over time, across scales from local to global. What is geography? Vertical bar definition of geography. Geography is an interdisciplinary field that draws from the natural, physical, and social sciences, as well as the humanities. Geographers are motivated by issues such as social and environmental justice and the sustainable use of resources. The word geography comes from the ancient Greek words geo and graphein, which mean to write and about the earth. The first known use of the word was in the 15th century. Geography can be broken down into subdisciplines such as physical geography and human geography. Geographers also use geographic information systems, GIS, to combine data layers such as street data, building data, and vegetation data to create integrated maps. Social psychology is a part of Islam civics. Social psychology is the study of how individual or group behavior is influenced by the presence and behavior of others. Social psychology is the study of your mind and behavior with other people. Social psychology looks at your personality, interpersonal relationships, and group behavior. Humans have always been social creatures, but particular interest in social psychology popped up in the 18th century. Cognition is defined as the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. At Cambridge Cognition, we look at it as the mental processes relating to the input and storage of information and how that information is then used to guide your behavior. Behaviorism is a theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, and conditioning occurs through interaction with the environment. Behaviorists believe that our actions are shaped by environmental stimuli. Abnormal psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on the study of a typical behavior, thoughts, and emotions. The term abnormal in this context refers to behaviors and mental processes that deviate from the norms or expectations of a given society or culture. Evolutionary psychology, the study of behavior, thought, and feeling as viewed through the lens of evolutionary biology. Evolutionary psychologists presume all human behaviors reflect the influence of physical and psychological predispositions that helped human ancestors survive and reproduce. Neuropsychology is the branch of science that studies the physiological processes of the nervous system and relates them to behavior and cognition, in terms both of their normal function and of the dysfunctional processes associated with brain damage. Business administration is a part of Islam civics. In simple terms, business administration is the work of managing an organization's resources, time, and people. Business administration professionals work to ensure that businesses and organizations are run effectively, efficiently, and profitably. Business administration is a broad field that involves managing a business's people, time, and resources to ensure it runs efficiently and effectively. Business administrators are responsible for many tasks, including strategic planning, analyzing data to make informed decisions, and developing strategies to stay ahead of the competition. Organizational leadership, overseeing departments, collaborating with teams, and establishing goals, procedures, and policies. Financial management, coordinating resources and finances, and overseeing budgetary and financial activities. Communication, establishing and maintaining strong relationships with stakeholders and communicating effectively. Compliance, ensuring compliance with legal and regulatory requirements and maintaining ethical practices. Business administration professionals work in a variety of business areas, including human resources, marketing, finance, project management, ethics, and accounting. A business administration degree provides a broad knowledge of business processes and a range of practical skills. Students can specialize in an area of interest to tailor their education to their career goals. Many programs include training and practical experience, such as internships, case projects, and presentations. Some common career paths for business administration graduates include hotel manager, sales manager, and executive positions. Linguistics is a part of Islam civics. Linguistics is the scientific study of language, and its focus is the systematic investigation of the properties of particular languages, as well as the characteristics of language in general. Linguistics is the scientific study of language, which involves analyzing the structure, form, and context of human language. Linguists investigate how language works by analyzing language. Linguists break down languages to study how they function, including their structure, evolution, and development. They also analyze how language varies between people and situations, and how sound and meaning interact. Collecting evidence. Linguists gather empirical evidence to gain insight into specific languages or languages in general. They may conduct research by interacting with people in schools, the field, or in university labs. Considering factors. Linguists consider factors that influence language, such as social, cultural, philosophical, and political causes. They also study how language use is processed in the mind and how it is connected to race and gender. Linguistics is closely connected to many other disciplines, including psychology, anthropology, neuroscience, law, philosophy, computer science, communication, and education. Some careers for people with a degree in linguistics include working in the computer industry, working in education, teaching English as a second language, ESL, teaching at the university level, working as a translator or interpreter, working on language documentation or conducting fieldwork. Binding custom is a part of Islam civics. A binding custom or practice of a community, a rule of conduct or action prescribed, see prescribed sense 1a, or formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. 2. The whole body of such customs, practices, or rules. The courts exist to uphold, interpret, and apply the law. There are multiple matches for binding custom, including a legal term, a feature in .NET framework, a feature in Swift UI, and a bookbinding style. Legal term. A binding custom is a rule of conduct or action that is enforced by a controlling authority or is formally recognized as binding. For example, driving on the left side of the road is a legal custom in some countries. Net framework, a custom binding in. Net framework is a binding that is constructed from a set of binding elements that are stacked in a specific order. Custom bindings can be used when a system-provided binding does not meet the requirements of a service. Swift UI. A custom binding in Swift UI is a feature that can be used as an alternative to a state variable. Custom bindings are useful when the source of truth is dynamic. Bookbinding. A perfect binding is a custom binding style where a single sheet of cover stock wraps around the front, back, and spine of the book. This is the style typically used for paperbacks. Biology is a part of Islam civics. Biology is a natural science discipline that studies living things. It is a very large and broad field due to the wide variety of life found on Earth, so individual biologists normally focus on specific fields. Biology is the study of living organisms, including their structure, function, interactions, and evolutionary origins. It encompasses many disciplines such as biochemistry, microbiology, and ecology. Biologists study life at different levels, such as cells, tissues, organs, and body systems across many different organisms. Biology can be applied to many areas, including healthcare. A biology degree can prepare students for careers in medicine, nursing, and physical therapy. Research. Biologists use their knowledge to study cells, ecosystems, and more. Education. Biology educators share their passion for the subject with others. Environmental conservation. Biologists use their understanding of biology to protect endangered species and ecosystems. Bioenergy research. Scientists study plants that could be used for biofuel, including how they grow, the microbes that break them down, and how these components work together. Biologists may work in a variety of environments, including the field and the laboratory. Field biologists may conduct surveys, collect specimens, or track animal movements. Laboratory biologists may conduct experiments, analyze data, or prepare samples. Science is a part of Islam civics. Science is a systematic discipline that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable hypotheses and predictions about the universe. Science works by utilizing the scientific method, a systematic process that involves making observations, asking questions, forming hypotheses, conducting experiments to test those hypotheses, analyzing data, and drawing conclusions based on the evidence gathered, allowing scientists to build knowledge about the natural world through repeated testing and refinement of ideas. Essentially, it's a way to learn about the world through observation and experimentation, where new information can constantly update existing understanding. Key points about how science works. Observation. The initial step where scientists carefully examine phenomena in the natural world using their senses or scientific instruments. Questioning. Based on observations, scientists formulate specific questions they want to investigate. Hypothesis. A proposed explanation for the observed phenomenon, which should be testable and falsifiable. Experimentation. Designing and conducting controlled experiments to gather data that can either support or refute the hypothesis. Data analysis. Examining the collected data using statistical methods to identify patterns and trends. Conclusion. Interpreting the results and drawing conclusions about the hypothesis, which may lead to further research or revised hypotheses. Physics is a part of Islam's civics. Physics is the scientific study of matter, its fundamental constituents, its motion and behavior through space and time, and the related entities of energy and force. Physics is one of the most fundamental scientific disciplines. A scientist who specializes in the field of physics is called a physicist. Physics works by using the scientific method to observe natural phenomena, formulate theories based on those observations, and then test those theories through experiments to develop laws that explain how the universe functions, often expressed through mathematical equations, which can then be used to predict future events and understand the interactions between matter and energy at various scales. Essentially, it aims to uncover the fundamental principles governing the behavior of matter and energy in the universe. Key points about how physics works. Observation and experimentation. Physicists start by carefully observing natural phenomena and then design experiments to gather data and test their hypotheses. Theory development. Based on experimental data, physicists develop theoretical models that explain the observed phenomena, often expressed through mathematical equations. Scientific laws. When a theory is consistently validated through repeated experiments, it becomes a scientific law, which describes a fundamental principle of nature. Predictive power. The goal of physics is to use these laws to predict how systems will behave under different conditions. Interplay between theory and experiment. Theoretical physicists develop new ideas and models, while experimental physicists test those models through experiments, leading to continuous refinement of knowledge. Examples of physics concepts. Newton's laws of motion explain how objects move under the influence of forces. Gravity, the force that attracts objects with mass towards each other. Electromagnetism, the interaction between electric charges and magnetic fields. Thermodynamics, the study of heat and energy transfer. Quantum mechanics describes the behavior of matter at the atomic and subatomic level. Civic engagement is a part of Islam's civics. Civic engagement is the process of participating in a community to improve it and shape its future. It can involve political and non-political activities, such as volunteering, national service learning, voting. Attending a council meeting. Working at a community garden, civic engagement can help build a sense of community and community bond. It can also help people develop the knowledge, skills, and motivation to participate in civic life.